Okay, we have seen how to add keywords to a set of pictures, but that sometimes it's also necessary to add keywords to individual pictures. So I think I have a few pictures somewhere. Not these. Yes, here I think there should be some pictures of my son. And as I mentioned before, I always try to tag people from our family in the pictures I take. For example, here I have a picture with my son and my mother-in-law and my father-in-law. So let's take the example of adding the people from my family, tagging them using keywords in the pictures. How would I go about doing that? Well, I could do that via the, through the keyword HUD, of course. Bring up the keyword HUD, Shift H. And then I have a hierarchy with people, family, and my family is Lesage, my son is Jens, so I could drag this onto the individual images to tag it with the people in it. But there is also some other people in it, like for example, Verheyle, Greta, and Van der Veire, Freddy, are also in the image, so I would have to drag the keywords onto the pictures individually. Now there is an easier way to do that, and that's using the keyword HUD. You can bring up the keyword HUD by going to the menu, window, and then you have an option here, show keyword controls, or you can press the keyboard shortcut Shift D. And you will see at the bottom of the screen that a new set of buttons has appeared, and these can be used to add keywords to your individual pictures. For example, action, landscape, outdoor. But of course, you could create your own set of keyword buttons. How do you do that? Well, you simply select the option here, edit buttons, and you get a screen to edit the button set. I can create a new button set by clicking the button, and I have, for example, family. This is my button set, and now I can add buttons for the individual keywords. For example, people, family. I know Lesage is Jens in there. Let's add myself. Let's add my wife, her brother, and a few other family members. I can easily reorganize those in here. I could set it up that Stefan is at the top, number 1, 2 is Tanja, my wife, 3 is Jens, my son, 4 is Geike, and then I have Björn, Marjolein, Freddy and Greta. Okay, I'm ready with my keywords buttons. I can press the OK button. And now if I click in the drop down here, you will see that there is also a set of buttons family added. And I can easily use that to add individual tags to the pictures. I can simply click on the button, or I could also use the keyboard shortcut. As you can see, option 1 to add Stefan, or option shift 1 to remove Stefan. And it will be 2 for the next button, 3 for this one, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can easily use those keyboard shortcuts to add the pictures. I'll bring up the metadata tab so you can clearly see it. Here is the option for keywords, and now I can use my keyboard to add keywords to it. So Jens is in there, which is button 3. Freddy and Greta are in there, which is 7 and 8. And you can see the keywords have been added. Freddy, Greta, Jens. Go to the next picture. Jens is in there. 7, 8 for Greta and Freddy. 7, 8 for Greta and Freddy. 7, 8 for Greta and Freddy. Jens is in there. 7, 8. Jens, 7, 8. And this is just Jens. Oh, the wrong one. I added Stefan. So shift option 1 to remove it, and option 3 to add Jens instead. As you see, this is a very quick way. Once you have set up your keywords and you created a button set for some specific keywords, you can easily navigate through each image and press the corresponding keyboard shortcuts to add the keywords to the picture. Of course, as with anything else, you should only add the keywords at the end of the hierarchy. For example, I added Jens. Let's see. I added Jens to the picture, the keyword Jens. Now I should only add this one. I shouldn't add Lesage, shouldn't add family, and I shouldn't add people, since they are above Jens in the hierarchy, they will implicitly be added to the images. So I added Jens to the image, the keyword Jens. Implicitly, Aperture knows it also has the keyword Lesage, it also has the keyword family, and it also has the keyword people. And this should be an easy way to add keywords to individual pictures. Let's close the keyword head. Okay, we've been busy a few chapters by adding keywords, and I've been talking about keyword hierarchy and things like that, but you haven't seen the real power of the keyword hierarchy yet, and that's what I will show you in the next chapter. Okay, we've been very busy tagging now pictures with keywords, which can be found in a keyword hierarchy in Aperture. And now I can show you what the real power is of the keyword hierarchy in Aperture. For example, let's go to my library. Let's add a new album here, a new smart album. Here we go, smart album. And I'll check the option keywords. And I say show me all pictures which have the keyword Lesage. There you go. And I have some pictures in here with my son Jens. Some pictures of him during a football soccer game. Some other pictures as well. And normally, if everything goes well, you should see some pictures of me as well in there. Okay, but this is something quite special, because if we have a look at the pictures themselves, you will see that none of them have the keyword Lesage attached to them. None of them. Yet, Aperture knows that somewhere in the hierarchy we have a keyword Stefan, and that means that it implicitly also has the keyword Lesage, family and people. So I didn't add the keyword Lesage to any of my pictures, but I can still use it to find pictures back. Now this also works for searching using text. Let's go back to my library. Let's select all photos. This shows all photos. And now I can use the search in here to show, for example, only pictures with birds of prey. I know it's roofvogel in Dutch. There you go. And I have all pictures in my whole library with birds of prey. And again, if we have a look at the metadata, you will see that none of them contains a keyword bird of prey of roofvogel in this example. But if we have a look at valk, valk is a falcon, I think, in English. Let's bring up the keyword HUD. Okay, let's search for falcon here. Valk. And here you can see that valk implicitly means it should add falcon type birds, birds of prey, birds and fauna as well. So you can easily use those keyword hierarchy to find pictures back later on. And that's the way how I've been using it, of course. Another nice example is, in my case, I want to show you all pictures shot in France. So it's Frankrijk. Here you go. And I have a shot here of the castle of Baynac. Actually, a few shots of the castle of Baynac. Now if we have a look here as well, none of them has the keyword Frankrijk or France attached to them, but the system knows that Château de Baynac. Château de Baynac has been added to the image, so implicitly it also has Baynac et Caznac, Sarlat-la Canada, La Dordogne, Aquitaine, France, Europe, and geographical information. So using the keywords in Aperture is a lot more flexible than in iPhoto, and you can create quite complex hierarchies with that, and it will allow you to add one keyword at the bottom of the hierarchy to your images, for example, in this case, Château de Baynac, and the system will immediately know that it should implicitly also add all keywords above that to the image as well. Okay, let's close the keyword HUD. And in the next chapter, we will have a look at exporting images to Flickr, for example, and the plugins I've used for that. also some export plugins for Aperture which allow you to export to Flickr, for example. The one I've been using has the option to include the full keyword hierarchy tags to the images on Flickr. Let's go back to my test project here and let's have a look at one image I could use. Okay, let's pick this image, for example. Let's have a look at the metadata. It has some keywords to it: aardvalde, events, motocross. And let's say I want to export this image to Flickr. File, export. And I've been using FlickrExport for a few years now. This is a plugin created by the folks at ConnectedFlow. I'll show you the website right here. It's connectedflow.com, and there you will find information about FlickrExport. Here, FlickrExport for Aperture, which is a plugin I've been using for a few years, and I really love it. It's a great plugin, and it allows me to have some flexibility and add the keyword hierarchy to the pictures on Flickr, for example. Let's have a look at how this works. Well, I have a new picture I want to add to Flickr. And you see that it has immediately added all keywords in the keyword hierarchy to my images. Well, how will it do that? Well, you can set that up in the preferences of the plugin. In general, you have here an option to include the full Aperture keyword hierarchy or only the images truly found on the tags, I mean, found on the image. So this will only add the aardvalde, events and motocross keywords to my image on Flickr, but using this option it will also add the keywords above those three keywords in the hierarchy to my Flickr image. Let's have a look. Motocross. Let's just export it and see. Once the export is done, we will have a look at the image on Flickr, and you will see that it will have all the keywords within the hierarchy attached to it. Okay, the export is done. Let's have a look at Flickr now. And here is the image I just added. And if we have a look here at the tags, you see it has added all tags in the hierarchy. So this FlickrExport plugin from the folks at ConnectedFlow allows me the flexibility to add just keywords found on the image or all keywords in the hierarchy as well. I think by now we have covered almost everything there is to cover about keywords and the keyword hierarchy. Hopefully you will be able to incorporate this into your own workflow, and the task of adding and using keywords in Aperture will become a lot easier by using the hierarchy. And if you really enjoyed this tutorial, feel free to head over to the iTunes Music Store and search for the iTutor podcast. And click through to the page for the iTutor podcast in the iTunes Music Store and drop us a review in here and maybe give us a rating or something like that.